Requiem Actual, we've reached the target LZ.
Let's get moving, people. Recon the site, eliminate all hostiles.
What's going on, monkey?
Yo, what up, what up? Yo, can you host? For
Me?
some reason, when I host, everybody lags out, yeah. If worst comes to worst, if you host, I'll just lag out by myself.
Alright then. Wish you could switch hosts, but I'm feeling.
Yeah. What up, Moosh Moosh?
as flipping stocks or flipping items on eBay?
Hi guys, Mr. Waffles here. We as a community have been shooting zombies for a long time now. In the classic olden days of Nacht Toten on World at War, you would sit in a corner and basically defend yourself from the zombies running at you until your guns weren't strong enough anymore, and then you would die. It was a simple time, and zombies, to be honest, felt almost like a different game back then. And then Der Riese came along, added the Pack-a-Punch, and everything changed. Suddenly, as a player, you had a way to fight back against the ever-increasing zombie health. You had a power spike later in your game that would make you feel like a god, and though it was only temporary, and death still came for us all in the end, as it inevitably will do, it still felt amazing. Since then, Treyarch have tweaked and tinkered with the formula, adding things like alternate ammo types in Black Ops 3 that were very well loved, and even allowing you to double, triple, and quadruple Pack-a-Punch in Black Ops 4 in order to get extra damage buffs. This all amounted to a system that felt familiar, don't get me wrong, but that subtly was significantly more complex than the original system we were so used to. And yet somehow, Cold War Zombies still managed to blow all of that out of the water. It's hard to overstate just how incredibly transformative it is having damage numbers appear whenever you shoot a zombie in this game. I know it might sound small and insignificant at first, but it actually entirely changes the whole way you think about the damage that you're doing in the mode. We're no longer on Der Riese Pack-a-Punching once and then going, okay, well my damage went up by some amount, and I don't know how much, but that's fine, and I'll just use this gun until it's useless, and then I'll be stuffed, basically, unless I have a thunder gun. We as players are flung so far past that now, thanks to the damage numbers, and they mean that as players we have so much more information about what's good, what's bad, what's effective, what's useless in the game. If you wanted more depth in zombies, if you wanted more depth to the gunplay, if you wanted to strategize more and theory craft about the best ways to play, this one change alone does so much of that, and I think Treyarch really deserves some praise for it. Somehow though, that wasn't all, because there are now skill trees in the game, and there is an incredibly in-depth creator class system that you can bring into zombies in the form of a loadout, and in both those systems, Treyarch have shown that they're not scared to give the player statistics and data to work with in order to figure out how to min-max and basically become the best zombies player they can be. And so today, we're going to be trying to do exactly that, but in the form of maximizing through every single technique I can think of as a player, the damage that we can do to a zombie in a single shot. The DPS test of a lifetime. Something that the zombies mode has been building up to for 11 years now. We are finally here, and I am so excited to see what we can do. Let's kick things off with the ray gun. It's probably the most iconic gun in all of zombies, and in this game, it's actually the most powerful it's ever been. It's the gun of choice for high round players, world record holders, the whole shebang, and so I figured it would be a good reference point to start with here. The ray gun, when it's fully pack-a-punch, absolutely maxed out at tier 3, does 23,000 damage to the Megaton when you shoot him in his big belly. You can't add a pack-a-punch ammo mod to this because it's the ray gun, that wouldn't work, and so you're pretty much stuck there, unless you introduce the field upgrades that they've added to Cold War. There's one in particular called Ring of Fire, and when you use it, a ring of fire appears on the floor, and if you stand in the ring, you get a damage boost for the duration of the Ring of Fire, which is 15 seconds. You're not told what the damage boost actually is, but we can test it very easily. We're just going to go back in with our ray gun, activate our Ring of Fire, and shoot our Megaton again, and we get 117.6 thousand damage this time, also known as 5 times the damage without the ring active. That is a crazy multiplier in itself, and it's no wonder that Ring of Fire is being used in the current fastest round 100 speedrun strat. But 120k damage is still a bit low for my liking, and so I want to see if we can go even higher. To do this, we're going to be buying the LW3 Tundra off the wall. This is not actually the optimal way to do this. You could probably get even more DPS squeezed out of what we're about to do if you loaded in with LW3 fully maxed out with all the perfect attachments. But to make sure this is something that you guys can replicate in your own games if you want to, I'm going to be using the wall gun version here. In the skill tree for the sniper weapon class in the Cold War Zombies menu, you can spend Ethereum crystals to get a permanent 10% buff to your armor penetration damage and to your critical damage. I'm not exactly sure how armor penetration damage works in zombies. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm working on it for my weapon Guide series though, don't you worry. But a flat 10% bonus to your critical damage just for spending a couple of crystals is crazy, so we're going to definitely have that active here. Papping the gun to tier 3, it'll do about 29.5 thousand damage to everything, and we can boost that even more if we upgrade the rarity to legendary using the armor station. That brings our damage per crit to 40,000, and with Ring of Fire giving us a ×5, that would be 200k, but we're going to go even higher. Introducing Deadshot Daiquiri. You unlock this at like rank 50 or 51 or something, and the first tier upgrade, a single crystal spent, gives you a 100% extra critical damage bonus against enemies with full health. On top of that, if you spend a couple more crystals, you get a flat 50% damage increase against enemy armor pieces. Now again, not exactly sure how that affects things in zombies, but a 1.5 times damage increase for free, well, for a couple crystals, and it's flat and it's permanent forever, sounds like a good deal to me. So we've got all this bonus damage, and we've got even more if we start shooting into zombies with armor, and there are only two types of zombies I can...
All brand buds are filled. Climate change is huge cost now. I have no time for folks who are like, you know, we shouldn't take action.
The loss of human civilization is not a far...
I can think of that have armor in Cold War so far. One is the heavy zombie that starts spawning in later in the rounds. It's just a regular zombie wearing some padding. And the second is the boss, the Megaton. The problem with using the heavy zombie is that I believe the game is actually treating its padding as extra health instead of armor, and so our only option is to use the boss zombie. But the good news is that this actually gives us another way to multiply our damage. It's been clear since launch that Megatons are especially susceptible to damage from sources with the Deadwire ammo mod. This is no surprise. Deadwire has been effective in the past versus armored zombies, and so we're going to put it on our sniper here for the damage increase and see exactly how it multiplies our numbers. If we look back at our ray gun comparison from earlier, that gun cannot benefit from this bonus, and so it's almost like the ray gun is at a disadvantage from the very beginning simply because it isn't shooting normal bullets, it's shooting, I don't know, green guns. This is all lovely, and I can confirm to you now that the Deadwire damage buff is about 1.5 times. But there is one final secret trick that I think many of you will have never heard of before to push our damage to the very top of its potential. We are going to use insta-kill, which might sound ridiculous, because obviously if you shoot a zombie with insta-kill, it just dies, and so I could claim that I was doing a million, trillion damage, but that's not what's going on here. We also know that when you shoot a boss with insta-kill, it doesn't work on it, except it actually does give you a damage buff. I don't know if this is in the game, because it's certainly not how it works.
Here we are, Ground Zero. Dimensional gates opening around the world. Should have known it would come back to some evil Nazi experiment gone wrong.
That wouldn't be the first time, would it, Major Carver? Team, facility entrance should be just ahead.
Is an insta-kill, and oh, what's this? I finally got one in my game, Ground 14. I made sure that the Megaton bomber had not taken damage because I needed that Deadshot multiplier, and here it is. 1.5 million damage in a single shot in Jetty Zombies. The Megaton is no more. He vanished off the face of the earth. That bullet touched his skull, and he was like, I'm out. Different universe for me, thanks. I'm boss fights in future maps that require us to take down massive dragons or huge Goliath monster giants that are walking through the forest with D machine, we might need to actually put some thought into exactly what our loadout is and our strat is in order to do damage numbers like this and take them down. It makes me so excited for the future of zombies. Treyarch, I love what you're doing here. Please keep stuff like this coming. Give us more stuff for our skill trees. Give us more weapons that we can customize. Give us more perks. Give us all of it. And I'll be right here trying my best to create a system in the zombies community suite. I'm working on websites right now with all sorts of number crunching going on to actually find out exactly which guns are the best and the worst. I'm working on a couple top 5s, top 10s, all sorts of zombie slaying knowledge that I want to give to you guys, and it's only one subscribe away, so if you feel like doing that, now would be a great time to, and hopefully I'll see you in your sub box or your record.
Get him and soak.
Stay alert. Someone may be inside.
Looks like Omega Group was correct. They came here and decided to pick up where the Nazis left off.
Seems Omega Group has adopted a certain devil-may-care attitude. I saw the tape. The Soviet plays up in the 40s. Why unseal it? We should turn the power on.
Glad you got my back.